good afternoon. It is about 12 p.m. Monday, the 3rd of May. I want to thank you guys for being with us today. I don't know if you can hear me or see me. Somebody usually out there says something. I know there's a few people watching. There's like 3 or 4 people watching. So I'm going to wait a little bit because what I have to go over today is not a whole lot, but it's just enough information. And so I have a few people out there. Let's see. Hello. Is anyone out there? Yay. Okay, there's a few people out there. Good afternoon. So there's always Miss Barragán. We can always count on her to know what's going on, and so I do appreciate that. It looks like we're having a little bit of trouble with Twitter Periscope on my end. I'm not too sure what it is, but it looks like there may be a little issue, but we'll go ahead and post this video on Twitter after the fact. So thank you, Ms. Barragán, for you can hear us, and thank you, Amber, as well, for saying hello. Do appreciate that. All right, what I'm going to go through today is just a couple of things just to remind some of our people and community about certain things that are going on in the district. And so first of all, I'm going to share my screen, and let's see here. First thing I'm going to do is, let me close this. Okay, so there is a s'more that is also a part of this. And I'm going to go ahead and copy it up here. And I'm going to paste it here as well in all 3 places. It looks like there might be a little bit of an issue with Twitter. That's what it's showing on my end. So sorry if those of you on Twitter, but we will post this on Twitter as well. Okay. Couple of things. Just a reminder, this is Teacher Appreciation Week. And so we do appreciate all our teachers, but more importantly, we appreciate all our school personnel who are doing their very best to help our kids and help our community and things like that. So we have not only teachers, we have paraprofessionals, we have cafeteria workers, we have custodians, we have bus drivers, we have secretaries and all counselors and all these people who are doing things to help run schools for the best interests of our kids. And so with that being said, we do appreciate that. And shout out to everybody who is doing what they can possibly do for our students, our staff, our parents, and our community. Thank you very much for those of you who are watching today. Thank you, Sylvia Jefferson. She's watching. Thank you very much. With that being said, there is a link here. If you want to thank somebody in FSISD, you can click on that. And it goes to a form that you fill out. It looks like this. And on the form, you fill out that information right there. I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm trying to figure this out. Ms. Barragán, do you know if you can see a little picture of me, or is it just the screen? I'm not too sure. Oh, there we go. Figured it out. Okay, thank you. So this is our screen right here that shows people what forms they need to fill out if they want to thank anybody in the school district. So that, again, is located here on this s'more. If you click on that, it will go to this form. You can fill it out, and you can thank anybody in the school district for what is going on. We did a video early in the year, and we're going to do another one at the end of this live session as well. The next thing we have is Kindergarten Roundup. And so if you see we have Kindergarten Roundup, there's information here. It is on our social media. It will be on this as well. If you click on this link here, this picture, it will have, or that link right there, if you click on any of them, it will have the information in a PDF. It's in English and in Spanish. And so with that being said, you have all the information you want to know about kindergarten registration with the contact information down below. Alamo Elementary is 4016 and Apache is 4161. Of course, area code 432, prefix 336. So thank you very much for that. So Kindergarten Roundup is around the corner. Call both Apaches and Alamo schools if you have any questions. We also have 2 videos that are in this s'more link, and one is a welcome video from Alamo Elementary, and the other one is from Apache Elementary. So there's 2 videos there. I will not go through them real quick. So if you want to click on them and look at them and watch them, you can share them with anybody. That's great. The next thing you know, we have information about the upcoming federal programs meetings, which I believe our first one is tomorrow. And so there is, if you click on this, there's also information here with a link. It's in English and Spanish. If you want to get on Facebook Live, you want to get on Twitter Live, YouTube Live, or on a website, there's also a way to interact with us. If you want to enter some information on a Padlet, and you'll be able to do that. Tomorrow is our first meeting at noon tomorrow here with us today, just like we are today. So going back, so we do have that. The other thing, we're proud to announce that we are having school bus driving school, and it awaits you. If you know anybody out there who wants to learn how to drive a bus, we are going to be teaching people how to drive a bus. And so all we need you to do is click on this link, and it goes to this website right here. You'll have to create an account, and you do not have to have a CDL. Is there anybody who does not have a CDL who wants to learn how to drive a bus and drive a bus for us? So with that being said, if you know anybody, please share this with anyone who wants to drive a bus or get a job. We are going to train people on the evenings and on the weekends to help learn how to drive a bus. And so, but the first thing we need you guys to do is go ahead and fill out this application right here. You'll have to create an account, apply for this position, and then just go through the steps of what you need to do right here. I already have a hire account with Fort Saguenay. If you're a new applicant, you go right here, you fill out all this information right here, you'll hit save, and then you are ready to apply for that job. And again, you do not have to have a CDL for this. Let me say that again, you don't have to have a CDL. We will be sharing our bus drivers and buses with individuals who want to learn how to drive a bus. And so if you want to learn how to drive a bus, we can help you, we can show you, and then you can start driving for us. So that information is there. It is School Bus Driving School. We just need your applications, then we'll be putting out the schedule for people to come out and get trained with some of the most amazing bus drivers in the world here in Fort Saguenay ISD. So click on that link for more information. The other thing is we do have STAR testing, which is starting tomorrow, matter of fact, at the high school, and Wednesday and Thursday. It says big picture there, but I think it's just a big picture. I don't know what it is. But anyway, there's dates and times for each school. If you have questions about testing, or if you're virtual students, whatever you have, you just call your schools at the numbers right there. It's very important that you call your schools if you have any questions about testing, anything that you have about, well, my kid's a virtual learner, call your campus and get with your principal to have the information that you need as far as testing, okay? So that is the main testing dates that we have this week. It's kind of color-coded by school. Apache is kind of like an orange, and then middle school's kind of blue, high school's green, intermediate's kind of a light yellow, and so Alamo is like a pinkish color. So that information is there. There's information for the schools. There is also a link to a thank you video. This is the first thank you video that we did. And so I'm going to open up another video here. Let me see. It is, well, actually, I'm not going to open up another video. What I'm going to do is open up a thank you video for round 2. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is, this is the link to the first video, and we're going to thank some people today, some new people today. All right. So this is our thank you for number 2. Let me see, page display, scroll page view 1. I think there's a way to do page display full screen. There we go. Yay. Okay. So this is our second video thanking people. Hopefully you can see that and you can still hear me. The first one that we want to thank is Mrs. Barragon. She's an amazing teacher and a good person to talk to. If you need help with anything, she's there. And if you win, and if or when you want to do some work for her, she tries to make it fun. She holds fun activities, interactions with us, and us in the classroom or virtual. So good job, Mrs. Barragon. We appreciate it. The next one we have is one of our custodians at intermediate school, Minerva Contreras. Minerva does a wonderful job cleaning and disinfecting our buildings, offices, bathrooms, classrooms, all surfaces. She does a great job. Thank you, Minerva, from a colleague. We have Miss Melissa Clifton, is determined to assist students and staff. She always steps up with help of extra duties. Thank you, Melissa Clifton. Ms. Vidal is an amazing individual. She is the secretary at the high school. She keeps that school running and is always working hard for everyone. She does a lot for the staff, students, and parents that walk through the doors. We are grateful to have someone so caring and hardworking at the high school. Thank you, Mrs. Vidal, from a colleague. Mimi said, Mimi is one of the hardworking women. She keeps the athletic department going at all times. She's always making sure everything is going smoothly and running around. To be sure, she is also the cheer sponsor and does so much for them as well. We are very lucky to have a great person in her position from a colleague. Thank you, Mimi Sena. I see somebody's asking me a question here in a little bit, but I'm going to keep going and then I'll answer the questions. Reba Subia. Reba does a great job with providing all the live meetings and games for us to watch on Facebook. Reba keeps us informed and we appreciate her. From a community member. Good job, Reba Subia. Melissa Alvarado. She greatly helped me understand and enjoy math from a student. Thank you, Mrs. Alvarado. She's a teacher at middle school here in Fort Stockton. Then we have Mr. Knight, the counselor at Fort Stockton Middle School. Mr. Knight is dedicated to his job. He's an extremely hard worker and is always willing to help others. He's always prepared with all the paperwork he has to complete. He also does a great job when he gets to do the campus announcements, as he believes that middle school is the best in the West above all the rest. Good job, Mr. Knight, from a colleague. Mr. Ruben Magayan from middle school as well. Mr. Magayan always goes the extra mile with my child from the classroom to the field. He is giving 110%. His passion for his students is greatly appreciated and does not go unnoticed. We need more teachers like Mr. Magayan. I'm truly blessed to have him as my daughter's teacher and coach. Thank you very much, Mr. Magayan, from a parent. Mr. Magayan also helps us with our bus driving. He substitutes in our bus driving area as well when we need drivers. So good shout out to Mr. Magayan for being a part of our Fort Stockton ISD family and for doing the very best for our students, staff, and community. Karina Sanchez. Miss Sanchez is amazing. She's the best mentor I could ever have. Her passion for students give me the drive to be better for mine every day. We need more teachers like Miss Sanchez in our district. Thank you, from a colleague, and that's Karina Sanchez at Apache Elementary. America Sotelo. Miss Sotelo is a great asset to our school. She's a hard worker and is always ready, willing to help. She's the best. Thank you very much, from a colleague there at Apache Elementary as well. Thank you, Mrs. Sotelo. Sofia Martinez, she's also a custodian at Apache School. Sofia is the best custodian. She keeps our school very neat and tidy. Her hard work and cleanliness is greatly appreciated, especially during this pandemic. Thank you so much, Mrs. Sofia Martinez at the Apache Elementary, from a colleague. Then we have Ms. Vidal again. Ms. Vidal is always very nice and ready to help. She makes the front office at high school very inviting, from a colleague here at Fort Stockton High School as well. Crystal Mendoza from the high school as well. Miss Mendoza has a great phone etiquette. She's always very helpful and helps keep the office inviting environment. Thank you very much, Miss Mendoza, from a colleague. I do agree. When you call the high school, they do have great, amazing etiquette, just like we all do here in the district. So thank you for being service-minded whenever people do call the school. We do appreciate that. Mr. Humphrey, Anthony Humphrey, he's the choir director. Mr. Humphrey was able to utilize his expertise and intelligence to help build my son's voice during his vocal transition to adolescence. He was able to help him build his voice and contain the squeak. Great job, Mr. Humphrey, from a parent. Tara Sanchez, she is the counselor at the high school as well. Thank you, Ms. Sanchez, for always helping my son and answering questions about his current and future scheduling. Ms. Sanchez always goes above and beyond to help students and parents understand the now and the future. From a parent. Mimi Sena again. Any questions regarding all athletics? She's the go-to person. Always ready to help, especially with the schedules. Big shout out to Mimi. Thank you for all your help from a parent. Shout out to Mimi Sena as well. Cindy Urias. She is always very kind and helpful when I have questions about my child, and she's really good at getting back with me quick. From a parent, Cindy is a math teacher at Fort Stockton Middle School. Shout out to Miss Cindy Urias as well. Amanda Urias, the principal at Fort Stockton Intermediate School. She's being so compassionate and having unfailing faith in her students and teachers. From a colleague, thank you again, Mrs. Urias, for all you do for our students, staff, and community. Grace Cisneros is also a teacher at Fort Stockton Intermediate School. Her kindness, patience, and never giving up when faced with difficult situations. From a colleague, thank you, Mrs. Cisneros. Willie Rodriguez, she is a math teacher at Fort Stockton High School. Well, Willie is very dedicated to the learning for her students. She's always thinking of new ways to help them and engage them in her class. Shout out to Mrs. Willie Rodriguez for all you do for all our students. Jamie Vasquez. Jamie is an amazing coach for her swimmers. My granddaughter loves the sport due to her leadership in the swim team. Thank you, ma'am, for all you do. Great job to all the swimmers on Friday. It must have been a swim meet that she had. Mrs. Vasquez is a swim coach as well as a teacher at the Alamo School. Shout out to Mrs. Jamie Vasquez. Thank you for all you do for our students, both in the classroom and outside the classroom. Thank you very much. Crystal Payne, the assistant principal at Alamo School. She always tries to make sure the needs of the kids are covered. She has an incredible workload, yet she's always willing to listen and respond calmly in any situation. Shout out to Crystal Payne for all that she does here at Alamo School and our community as well. Thank you, Ms. Payne. Tara Sanchez. Tara is really on the ball for testing. If Telepass and Benchmark had any issues, we did not know because Tara handled the testing so well. From a colleague, shout out to Mrs. Sanchez at Fort Stockton High School. Mary Lou Armendariz. Mary Lou has been with FSISD for over 40 years. Shout out to Mary Lou. In these years, she has been in so many roles within the district. Her current role as PEMS director is one of the most important jobs of the district. Mary Lou is always going out of her way to help teachers, principals, and also administrators with issues that may arise, no matter what time of the day or night it is. I'm very blessed to be able to work with her. From my colleague, Mary Lou Armendariz. For those of you who don't know what PEMS is the information that gets sent to the Texas Education Agency, which is actually the state of Texas, which then goes to the federal government. So any type of information that we report goes to there, goes to Mary Lou's computer, goes through her fingers. And so shout out to Mary Lou for helping us send correct information that is reliable to the state of Texas in regards to our school district. Shout out to Mary Lou, and she's been around for 40 years doing this. So we do appreciate all your service. Thank you very much, Mary Lou. Omar Sanchez. I want to thank Omar for the job he does and his quick responses. Thank you, Omar, for always being there to answer my questions. I don't think I could get the job done without you. Shout out to Omar Sanchez, working for technology as a technology instructional person in our district. He does a great job helping our staff get better at virtual learning and anything that involves technology. He is on it. Shout out to Mr. Sanchez for doing that. Keith Villanueva, he is also a technology tech. He's mainly stationed at the high school, but he does work at other campuses as well, and he does all the work for him and a few other people. John Slant, Mr. Lucky, they go out and help fix computers and things like that. So I'm very grateful for Keith being there when we need him. I'm glad he's there. Thanks, Keith, from a colleague. Shout out to Keith for being the very best he can for our school district and our students. And that is it. So I'm going to stop sharing that screen. All right. So I want to thank you very much. That's kind of weird, huh? My screen looks a little funny. It's cutting my head off. I don't think I grew that much, but there are a few questions. And so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can answer some of those questions for us here. Let's see here. My daughters are virtual students, and I'm having trouble with them being counted absent since day one. I was told they might not pass the next grade level. Who can I speak about that? Okay, let me go back to this screen here, because the one thing I can tell you to do, Bianca, is I'm going to share this screen with you. I don't know what part of what school your child goes to. There's some issues because what happens is virtual kids, I will tell you this. So virtual kids are given a time frame of getting the work done before the end of the night. But here's the thing. So it's like midnight, okay? So 11:59, I'm going to use today as an example. We have kids who are virtual learners who go to math first period, okay? Well, if they're virtual learners, let's say middle school. I'm going to use, Bianca, you said middle school, intermediate. Okay, so I'm going to say middle school. So let's just say we have a kid who's in first period math class, okay? And they don't log in. They don't see what the teacher's doing, but they want to go ahead and do the assignments late at night. Well, the teacher has to count them absent because they weren't there. But then at 11:59, that your child has up until 11:59 to get that work done. We're not going to force the teachers to be waiting for kids to see if they can get their work done, whether it's 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night, although some of them do, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So yes, you'll probably get a phone call saying your kid was absent. But then what happens is the teachers have a whole week to go back in to make sure that your kid got that work done, so that your kid will be counted absent, because there's no other way that we have by the as the guidelines that we have through Texas Education Agency that says your kid's going to be counted present or absent up until 11:59, whether they've done the work or not done the work. So for reporting purposes, they get counted absent, and then the next day the teachers have to go back in, see if the kid got the work done, and then fix that attendance at that point. If you have any questions, I'm going to recommend that you contact your school. And there's the number right there. Speak to Mrs. Chavez at middle school and Mrs. Urias at intermediate school. If you have any questions, I don't know if you can read that. Let's see here. Make that a little bit bigger. So yes, those are the numbers. If you want to call them, that'd be greatly appreciative. So that'll probably help you in that situation. And I agree with you, because of the rules that we have at TEA. If they're not actually in the classroom, yes, they're virtual. The teachers have to go back in after the fact. The crazy thing is that kids can be counted present up until 11:59 p.m. In other words, they got to get their work done up until 11:59 p.m. Well, we can't force a math teacher or any teacher really to be up that late to do that stuff, to go back in and check it. Although the teachers do have to come back in either that next day, I think they even have up to the following week to make sure it gets done. But if you have any questions, please contact both Mrs. Urias at the intermediate school and Mrs. Chavez at the middle school. Same for, and I called school and they just told me to give them till the 18th. That's why they told me mail the last time it wasn't fixed. Myra, I agree. If it's not fixed, contact that school and let them know. I'm not too sure what school your kid goes to, but let me show you. So Bianca's just basically saying she's had issues with attendance. Thank you for being patient with us. We do appreciate that. And then the same thing with Myra Pacheco as well. So just give us a little bit of time, because it's kind of a crazy deal, because they have until, like I said, 11:59 to get it done. But if they don't get it done, then the teacher has to go back in and either remain with that student being absent. And here's the other thing. So let's just say that kid doesn't get the work done by 11:59 p.m. But then they get it done 3 days later. Well, if they didn't log in, they didn't get any work done on that day, they have to be counted absent that day. It's the craziest thing. So every day your kid has to go in and do work. The kids have to go in and log in and do things. And if they don't do that, then they are considered absent. Even if they do the work later on after the fact. So be conscientious of that. And that's something we've had issues with all year long. But the thing about it is we try to encourage kids that they need to get on to their schooling every day, every single day. And if there's an issue with that, please contact your school. So after this video is it'll be posted. I know Mrs. Subia with technology will post just the portion about thanking the teachers. And I think she may have already did that already. So shout out to Mrs. Subia for doing that. If you have any questions, please contact your school. It is about 12:22 p.m., 23 p.m., Monday, May 3rd. You guys have a great rest of your lunch. Take care. Be safe. And remember, Teacher Appreciation this week. Even if you just email anybody in the schools and let them know what's going on. Say, we do appreciate everything you've done. Thank you. And have a great day.